we've been in USANA a long time, and this has been on our goal sheet to be STI Associate of the Year for many years. So it's just really awesome that it finally happened. And a lot of hard work, but we did it, and I'm just very proud of you, babe, and our team. I know you'll say the rest, but I'm not taking any more time away from him.
This is for my dad. Got that out of the way. Really, this would not have happened if, through tragedy, your family arises. And for those of y'all that know what I'm talking about, you're going to learn it tomorrow. I'm going to share on this topic and how we went emerald and the overwhelming response of our team and our family and just you guys at STI and outside of STI. I mean, many of the associates that have phoned in that are outside of STI, like the Jonas family and Nancy On. There's a lot of people out in California and Chicago, all over the United States, all over the world for that matter. I know Justin Morris out in the UK. I mean, with the overwhelming response that our family received from our USANA family is what I'm going to talk on tomorrow. And I got to tell you, Jaclyn's right. I mean, this award for us, I remember coming to STI. I think this is our 10th or 11th or even 12th STI, I don't even know. But they all start blending in. The only way we know is by looking at the slogans for every year. I saw one out back there in the back. It was going for more in 2004 or something cheesy like that. Who came up with that thing, right? But that's all I can remember what year that this is. But you know, Jaclyn's right. This was a goal that I remember. We were probably, I don't know, directors or an achiever the first time I came to an STI. And we drove 18 hours. She and I and one other associate that was like our only person doing anything. And we were told that we had to go to STI, so we packed up the truck and we drove 18 hours to Layton, Utah. And went a couple days early and tried to ski, you know, pinching pennies, staying in a $29 hotel room and spending $80 on a ski lift. I don't even ski, but whatever. But I remember being in that first STI and I was overwhelmed with the unity and the synergy and just that family atmosphere. And I'm a driver A personality. I'm a recognition junkie. I know that I am. And so all I wanted to do was to be on that stage. And when I asked the leaders, how do I get on that stage? Everything they told me was, you've got to have a business. You've got to help a lot of people. And so then I just became determined on how to figure out how to build the business. And it has been a tremendous amount of heartache. I'll tell you right now, it's so great to see so many associates that still to this day come up to us even now and say, I've got this one problem with this one person, and it's like so unique and special to them. Like they're the only person that's dealing with this issue, and they're going, what do we do? And it's funny, and now that I look back on where we were in the beginning days asking those same questions, I just go, those leaders are giving us the same generic answers that I now spit out today. Because there is no magic bullet, there's no special answer, and it's just a matter of hard work and diligence and sacrifice. And you know, if you guys have heard our Life Masters, I just did a Life Masters in November, right before they went back to the CD version. But I talked about this motto that Jaclyn and I developed. I don't even remember how long ago now, probably 8 or 9 years ago. But it was a joke that stuck in our family. And what it was, when we were brand spanking new, we were broke, newly married, still, you know, living on rice and beans. I mean, not horrible. I mean, we had jobs and such, but we were broke. I mean, we were a new family trying to get started. Many of you all have been there, and if you haven't been there yet, build a business fast, because life's a lot better with money, I promise you. But I just remember in those beginning, where was I going with this story? I'm such a rabbit trail. 5 years. Squirrel! And I remember that we would have friends that we went to college with that had graduated with us, that had full-time jobs, and many of them were making more money than we were, but they'd want to go to the lake on the weekends or do a big barbecue or go out to big fancy dinners. And after we enrolled in USANA, and we made the decision and we burned our ships and we drew a line in the sand, we had to decide that we were going to sacrifice that time and that money on those special trips to the lake or those special dinners out that were going to cost us $100 to do that, or even $50 to do that. We had to start saying no. And I remember the response those first couple of times, because I'm a sociable person. We like to do things with friends. And so the first couple of times our friends said, hey, we're going to lake this weekend, you want to go? It was always a yes. And this time from the Bohlkes, it was a no. And our friends were like, what's wrong with you? What do you mean it's a no? And we're not going to do it this time. And what I remember telling Jaclyn was, babe, give us 5 years with this. Let's sacrifice the fun things that all of our friends are doing that are still living paycheck to paycheck, because if we want to be different, we got to do different. And I said, let's give this puppy 5 years, and let's work our stinking tails off. Let's talk to everybody that we know. Let's be the crazy, as Jaclyn called me for so many years, the crazy USANA monster. And everywhere we go, let's talk about USANA. And that's what we started doing. And my father-in-law's here tonight, and he can contest that when I first started dating Jaclyn, when I would go over to their house, all I talked about was USANA. And it got to the point where my future father-in-law probably just looked at me as some crazy boyfriend. He would get up and leave and go lock himself in the bedroom while I was there. He didn't want to talk to me. But I will tell you, after his first convention, within about 30 minutes of sitting in the Delta Center, Energy Arena Solutions, he was smoking notes. He leaned over and he goes, I had no idea how great of a company this was. And now they're server directors, building a business. But yeah. So if you're new in this room, in 5 years, that's my lesson to leave you with, is in 5 years. Sacrifice everything and work your stinking tails off. Don't go to those dinners. Start saying no, because when your friends start seeing you do those things different, what do they ask you? Either way, hey, why are you doing that, or what's wrong with you? And it gives you the opportunity. You have that little window of opportunity to stand firm in what your belief is and say, I'm not willing to be like the average person anymore. And they're going to say, dude, what's wrong with you? You're going to say, I'm going after something else. And I'd like to show you what it is. You have that opportunity to do that. So in 5 years, so remember that. I want to thank you, Jaclyn, because for all of you married men out there, you know that for every strong, courageous man, there's a very strong, courageous woman. And we got, as you can tell, two beautiful kiddos, Dylan and Landry, and Jaclyn is a stay-at-home mom, and I'm still a crazy USANA monster. So the time and sacrifice that I know that she puts into our family is the only reason that we're even able to have a team and to be unified with our leaders and such. And so I thank you. I love you to death. Don't you go nowhere. Yeah, the business is in her name, so I won't go anywhere. And I will say, lastly, that our team Illuminate that's here, you guys, Jaclyn and I love you guys from the bottom of our hearts. I know some of you all gathered back there and over here. The relationships that we've established with you guys over the last few years, I mean, Cindy, you've joked with me for so long. I used to wonder, why weren't you coming to events? Soccer practice? Whatever. And now I've got kids, and I've got soccer practice, and she's like, almost like another mom to me. I'm like, I know. But Jaclyn and I love you guys. The relationships that we have, the spiritual relationship that we have developed with some of you men, especially for me, it fuels me. It is what drives me to continue, because I see the change in you guys. And it's what my fire is. It fuels me every day to continue to help you guys change, and in turn helps us change. So I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for your support of our family through this crazy last year, and know that I know you guys ain't going anywhere, but you can know from the bottom of our hearts that Bohlke's ain't going anywhere. And lastly, I want to recognize my mama. Man, I'll tell you, you have no idea how powerful women are until you see them go through things that we as men would never be able to embrace or physically or mentally, emotionally or spiritually to work through. And to see what my mom's had to go through. I love you guys. Thank you.